That's my cue.
Your cue?
Yeah, to hit record.
Oh, got it. Oh, you just did it.
I just did.
Oh. All right, everyone. So welcome to the Leaders Rights Here call. I first want to just give a huge shout out to recognition this week. Congratulations, Rebecca Peel, for hitting the 5-cycle bonus. Woohoo! Oh my goodness, that is so awesome. I'm so stinking excited for her. So yes, that was a nice rank advancement this week. Enjoy that $250 bonus. And then I also wanted to call out events that we have coming up. For those of you in Minneapolis, we have Shine Your Light coming to Minneapolis tomorrow evening. There's also ICU Chicago coming up. The Essence Tour is coming up. And then as well as like Super Saturdays. So start building to these events. I'm super excited about the event tomorrow. I think it's going to be awesome. And I'm just excited to see kind of like it ripple effect across the country. I think it's going to be super fun. And then also just like every week, make sure to plug in your launch parties. If you're having any launch parties, wherever they are, just make sure you're posting them in the chat so we can make sure to support you and give you huge shout outs for doing your launch parties. So that's kind of housekeeping stuff. But I just wanted to talk about, so Gretchen went through kind of what to say to people, how to talk to people. Oh yes, big announcement tomorrow for Jim and Kathy Cougar. That's awesome. Thank you, Brian, Heidi and Brian. Okay, so Gretchen talked about what to say to people, how to follow up with people. Heidi and Brian went through how to get people started, you know, how to walk them through what to send them, how to get them started. So once they pick their option. So what I'm going to train on today is really how to walk them through their first 30 days. And the wonderful thing about this is everybody does it differently. There's no right way or wrong way, but this is just how I do it. So after they have placed their order and you're either on the phone with them or in conversation, text message, whatever it is, however you got them started, I always tell them that I always do a welcome call to make sure when they get their box that we start off with doing a welcome call and saying, we want to set you up for success. And the welcome call is a great place to do a 3-way call if you haven't done them before. So a welcome call, what I like to say, you know, when they're getting enrolled, I say, we always do a welcome call. So you set that up, but I also tell them, even before the welcome call, I always tell them, I'm going to text message you. I'm going to message you a lot. I want you to do the same. I want to hear from you. So we're going to be in constant conversation through your 30 days because, again, I want to make sure that I'm setting you up for success. And I ask them, what is your preferred communication method? Do you want to text? Do you like Facebook Messenger? Do you want me to call you? So I really like to get their preferred method of communication so that they're open and they're expecting my text messages, my phone calls, whatever it may be. So I always set up the welcome call, and the way I do it is I tell them to text message me when they get their box. And I always tell them that there's a lot of great information in there, but I have some tips for you that don't come in the box. And I have some tips for you that will make you successful in your first 30 days that aren't really shared by Isagenix. So I kind of have that as my little hook to get them to text message me when they get their box. Because so many times people think, oh, they've got the instructions in there, they can just walk it through. There's so much information in our awesome product groups, you know, set them up for success, the schedules and everything like that. But I always tell them that I have tips that Isagenix doesn't send them. That's kind of my hook to get them to make sure that they follow through with the welcome call. So doing a welcome call, like I said, is a great way to get somebody to do a three-way call. Find somebody who in your community or in your network had similar goals to theirs, that had success, somebody that has a similar personality to them, because you always want to make sure that you're creating that community. And I always tell them that I want to connect you to somebody else that's going to be another resource for you, that I am here to help you throughout the entire, process, and the Be Healthy community or whatever community you use, group that you use is there for help. But I want to make sure that you have another resource for you to connect with. So that's how I kind of tie in that this welcome call is going to be a three-way call, that I'm going to pull in somebody as another resource. And then letting them know that we're not going to go through unpacking your box, because I'm going to send them the video of unpacking your box beforehand. So the welcome call, not walking them through how do you use ionics or shakes or anything like that. I always send the video beforehand so they have an opportunity to watch that when they open their box. So really, this isn't going to be going over the details. This is really kind of big picture. Again, we've already talked about their goals, bringing them up again, bringing somebody in that can relate to their goals. But this is an opportunity for the person that's on the three-way call to bring up Ice the Body Challenge. And retention is huge when you have somebody that enrolls in Ice the Body Challenge. So having that person bring up the body challenge, having them bring up healthy mind and body, and really talking to them on a personal level. I mean, again, this is somebody that you're bringing in, but talking to them about who's going to be their support system, in the home or in the workplace, like who is going to help support you and provide that physical support. I mean, being an online community is amazing, but we want to make sure that they have support, physical support. So asking in the home, in the workplace, who is going to be that support system for you. And if they don't have it, that just means that you need to do a much better job of staying on top of them, making sure that you can be that support system for them. So, and then I always set up the next call at the end of that welcome call. I always tell them that we're going to connect again after your second cleanse day, because by that time you are going to be feeling amazing. And you talk to them and you tell them how amazing that they're going to be feeling. So they're already looking forward to that next call. So tell them after the second cleanse, you are going to be feeling amazing. Now that's not my next and only touch point with them. Between that welcome call and the second call, I'm still doing that preferred method of communication, whether it's text messaging, whether it's Facebook messaging, whether it's, if there's somebody who wants to have phone calls, I'm doing that too. But I always make sure that they know for sure that there's going to be a second phone call. And I always do that between 5 to 8 days or 5 to 10 days. And this call is really to talk to them about checking in. How are things going? Because this is a very pivotal call for me, because if they're having a great experience, I want to capitalize on that success. But if they're not having a great experience, this is soon enough to the point where we can pivot. They're not so far in where they feel like they can be completely down on themselves. I've been doing this for 2 weeks and I'm not having success. 5 to 10 days is enough time for you to be like, okay, you've had 2 cleanse days, but yet maybe they're not seeing, the scale move, or they're not seeing that increase in energy. They're maybe not feeling amazing like we said they were going to feel amazing. So really this call is extremely important to make sure that you have it, because again, if they're having a great experience or a bad experience, this is where you can capitalize on either of those. And then for this call, really just listen. It's for us to ask questions, but really just to listen and make sure that you're listening to how they're feeling, how they're using the system. If they're not having the results that they're searching for, make sure that you're digging deeper. And what are your behaviors? What are your challenges? Again, reaching out for that support, making sure that you're digging deeper and they're using the system the way that the system's supposed to be used. So I always tell people, if they're feeling good, this is an opportune time to talk about the generous referral bonuses. During this call, I always use that verbiage, generous referral bonuses. I never say PIB. I never say anything like that. I never say get your products paid for, because for some people, they're not thinking about their next products. Right now, they're just in the moment of what they're doing for this 30 days. And everybody uses referral bonuses, or everybody uses referrals. So it's very common language that you can use with someone. And if they're open to it, if they're open to generous referral bonuses, I talk to them and I ask them, do you want me to help you create a Facebook post for you? Do you want me to help schedule a sip and sample for you to share, or to gather your friends and family together so you can share with them? Or do you want me to help you create a list of friends that you can reach out to and share your experience with? So I just kind of gauge their interest, if they're interested in the referral bonuses or not. And you can talk to them about 3 different ways that you can do referrals. The first being that they can send you the referrals. And you can just say, I love referrals. I'd be happy to take any referrals. For any referral, I'll give you a fun goodie bag, free products, or something like that. But instead of me getting it, there's an option for you to get it too. So you can get product coupons too to help you pay for your next months, or you can get cash, and it doesn't have to be product coupons. So I always tell those people that they have those 3 options, and I always just ask them, which one interests you most? And then zip your lip. Because then they'll tell you kind of where they're sitting, and then you know where to take the conversation. So that's a really good time. If they're feeling good, if they're having a great experience on that second call, that's when you know to bring up the generous referral bonuses. But also let them know that your online community, whether it's, Find Your Fit, Be Healthy, Everyday Health, whatever it is, Grounded, that is a place that is not only your product group, but it's just as much theirs as it is yours. So letting them know that if people are asking you about, your results, or people are asking you about it, it's a very easy way for you to just add them to a community, welcome them, and it's a very passive way for them to check it out. And that way you don't have to be an expert, because you're still in your first 30 days. So I always tell people to add people to the product group, that it's a great way for them to check it out. At the end of that second call, I always set up the refresh your pantry call. And that is about day 20 to 25. And again, like at the end of every single call, I'm always setting up the next call. And people may do this differently. People may call it something different. People may call it like an inventory check, whatever you call it, but making sure that you're setting up a call to walk them through their next auto ship. I call it a pantry refresh. I tell them that this is a chance for us to go through what you have to set up your next order. Because I always tell people, I put 4 canisters of shakes in your next order. That's considered maintenance. That continues with 2 shakes a day. But I want to touch base before that order goes through to make sure we can change flavors, add any products or anything like that. So let's set up our pantry refresh. You know exactly when their auto ship should be coming through. It's 29 days after they place their order, if you did it. And does everybody understand why 29 days? If you haven't, there's a file on it. I won't touch on it, but yes, so 29 days. So you should know exactly when their auto ship is coming through, so you can set up to make sure that you have enough time to have a conversation with them about their pantry refresh before then. Again, 20 to 25 days, what I say. And this is an opportune time for you guys to touch base again on their goals, bringing them back to their goals. What were your goals for this month? Do you feel like you've made progress on your goals? How close do you feel like you are to your goals? Making sure that you're having these monthly goals with them, because sometimes during this call, people will start feeling like they can do this and they are pretty close to their goals, that they don't need Isagenix anymore. So this is an opportune time for you to remind them of their goals and that you're having this success because you're following the system. Yes, you may not need every single product or continue with 4 cleanse days a month, but making sure you're reminding them that they're experiencing the success that they're having through using the system. So I always ask people, how much do you have left? Like, what do you have left? I ask them, what did you love? And what can't you live without? Because that question always surprises me because there are some people that are obsessed with Ionic Supreme. And for me, my first month, like, I had to take shots of that. So everybody's different. So I always ask people those questions. And you will be so surprised when you say, what can't you live without? I think that was by far one of my favorite questions. And then I always say, is there anything that you need before your auto ship comes? Because sometimes there are people that have the Ionic Supreme like 2 times a day because they love the way that it makes them feel. Well, by this time, they're probably running out of it. So I always ask people if there's anything that they need before their next auto ship comes. And then I walk them through their back office. So I have them log in. I tell them beforehand, making sure that you have a computer nearby so we can actually go through your back office and you can actually go through and adjust your auto ship, because that makes them self-sufficient. That makes them know how to do it in the future, and they don't feel lost or confused and just call customer service and cancel or whatever it may be. I want to make sure that they are as comfortable in their back office as I am. So I have them log into their back office. And on the home page of the back office, there's 4 nice buttons right up at the top. And I actually walk them through the purpose of each 4 of those buttons. Does everybody know what buttons I'm talking about? I'm seeing some head nods. Okay, so the first one is auto ship, manage your auto ship. I tell them that that's where they can go in and manage their auto ship. I always give them 2 options, that they own that auto ship, that they can update it with whatever products that they want, however much or little of products that they want. Or I tell them that they can push it out if they don't need any products or if they have a surplus of products. So I give them those 2 options. I used to bring up all the time that they could cancel it at any time, but I feel like when you set that tone and you tell them about it, that a lot of people almost gravitate towards that. So I give them the 2 options, that they own it, they can update it with whatever products that they want, or they can push it out up to 60 days if they don't need any products. And that usually works pretty well. The next button is enroll a new customer here. Again, this is your second time where you're able to talk to them about the referral bonuses. And you can ask them, revert back to, okay, last time we chatted, you said that you would just pass referrals to me. I just wanted to let you know that this is where, if you decide to change your mind, that you want to actually enroll someone or how someone gets started, that this is what you can do. You can walk them through and you can hit the enroll new customer here. And this can help you get product coupons, or if you're interested in cash, let me know before you enroll someone, because then we'll have to do some switching to your account. Again, everybody knows in order to get cash, you have to switch from preferred customer to associate. And then the next button is wholesale. I always tell people that with opening an account, you now have a wholesale account instead of paying retail. So if you run out of products or if you need something before your auto ship is scheduled, I always tell them you can always place an out of auto ship order. So you can place an order before your auto ship comes if you need products, the next day, next week, whatever it is. And then I always tell them that they have the option of pushing out their auto ship then if they don't need their auto ship. So if they decide to place a wholesale order. The next button is community. or the next one is events. And I talk to them about events at that point. I talk to them about local events. I talk to them about the 4 core events, or I just say that there's, Isogenics hosts quite a few events throughout the entire year. And that's exactly how I got started. I went to an event in Miami after my first 30 days, and it really showed me the vision of what this company is. And I love community. And I always talk to them about that's how you experience the community. Like I'll talk to them about if they love their online community, that's a great place to actually meet your online community in person. And a lot of amazing friendships and relationships have started from events. So I feel like those are the 4 buttons that's how I go through it. And I've had a lot of success walking them through their back office. I feel like I have a very self-sufficient team that know how to manage their own orders, and I'm not having to go through and place orders and help people with their accounts. And I definitely feel like that's the success of actually having people walk through their back office. Any questions? I feel like I should pause and make sure. Okay, Allison, so key to tell them to add people there. Yes. When trying to enroll. Is there a question?
Yeah, Leah's question.
Yeah. When trying to enroll someone and we get the membership fee, how do you tell them you need it? I get, well, why can't you just order from me and I'll pay you?
Like instead of paying the $29, how do you deal with that?
I always just tell people, wouldn't you rather just order products when you need them, how you want them? And I'm like, $29, it pretty much pays for itself as opposed to retail if you place more than one order. The membership fee pretty much pays for itself. And I feel like I don't get a lot of pushback. I mean, I talk to people about Amazon Prime. I talk to people about their $10 monthly Spotify, fee that they pay, Netflix, things like that. And I always just say, like, in comparison to everything else, yes, Costco membership, $29 is pretty minimal. So that's kind of how I say it. But I never even bring the possibility of me ordering for people and giving it to them. I'm like, that's just bad shit crazy. Like, I won't do that. Because imagine, like, that is not sustainable. Like, if you did that for every single person, like, that makes you a Mary Kay person. Like, my garage would be crazy. Like, I don't want that. And so that way products get shipped directly to your house. You get the convenience of ordering products when you want them, when you need them, and what you want without having to go through me. So does that answer your question?
You would have no chance to enroll someone else without it either.
Yeah.
And so I will say, if you don't want to pay the $29, you can pay a higher price, like for the products, because they can pay the customer price and do 10% off instead of 25% off. Like I'll quote it that option. But the other thing I do, Leah, is I will just add it right in. So when I quote the price of a 30-day, I say $300. I don't say $272. I say $300. I don't even, because I just add it right in. And then, if they're asking how much is X amount of product, I'll just include it. Anyone else? Yeah. What do other people do?
I think that's a really good question, though, because I think, I can see how you would get it, but yeah, I think you're just posture behind it of even just saying, the convenience for them of being able to order what they want, when they want it, and really just showing it back to them, the value that they have. And I think Molly said something about mentioning that they aren't eligible to get the 30-day money back guarantee then. I feel like they aren't they?
I'm just saying, I always tell them, like, I just say, if you were to get the product and I were to give it to you, then you wouldn't be eligible for that. So if you didn't like a flavor, I wouldn't be able to take your product back from you. That's kind of what I use it for.
Yeah, 100%. I love that. Sorry, I was thinking you were talking about what Allison was saying about the 10% off the customer. Got it. No, I think that's awesome. Good. Any other questions? We have 5 minutes left.
Barbie, can I share a quick story about the 5 to 8 day call? So I just did one of those this week as a 3-way call, and it was a great opportunity to course correct because she wasn't having good results. And it turns out that she was trying to keep her calories under 1,000 on shake days, and she was eating bananas, like multiple bananas on cleanse days. So, I mean, we wouldn't have known that. Like, she was like, this isn't working. I'm not losing weight. Like, I have energy. Like, I feel good, but I'm not losing weight. And that's why. So I think those midpoint check-in calls are great because it allows you to discover things that they maybe wouldn't have revealed over a text message.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I feel like whenever I text people and I'm just like, hey, everything's going, just wanted to check in, like they'll either say good or, you know, like very vague, like nobody's going to go into super, super long detail in text messages of what's going on. And you also aren't able to dig deeper when they're just saying like, I'm just not staying full on shake days. And you can say, what are you eating? And they just say, I'm still having my snacks, but little do you know, their snacks are not sufficient enough in calories or they're not high in protein. But yeah, so I feel like those midway calls are super good to just be able to like dig a little bit deeper into what's going on. Again, like if they're having a great experience, that's awesome. And then you talk to them more about referrals and whatnot. And are they getting compliments? Are people like noticing? And then if it's not going so well, you can dig a little bit deeper and maybe discover a little bit of why it's not going well. So no, I love that. Okay. In my first 30 days, I focus on 4 areas, and I kind of already talked about all of them, but I talk about experience, I talk about community, retention, and vision. So experience, good or bad. I don't know where I heard this, but it's so true. If somebody has having a good experience, they maybe will tell one person. But if they're having a bad experience, they'll tell at least 10 people. So many people want to talk about the wrong things or the bad things that are going on in their lives. I have no idea why it is. I'm a pretty positive person, but if you have a bad experience somewhere, that's why some people like rant about airlines and things like that online. But rarely, if you have an amazing experience, do you talk about it. So just know that it's super important to make sure that people are having a good experience, because if they're having a poor experience and you don't catch it, there goes the bad name of Isagenix and possibly yours. And also, if you're not staying in contact with them to make sure that they're having a good experience, we are going to prove them right in saying it was all about the sale. You only cared about the PIBs. You didn't care about the relationship. You didn't care about the experience. So ensuring that they're having an amazing experience is all on you. And maybe if you haven't done all of these touch points or anything like that, like that's okay. It's not too late. You can start now. And then community. So I always focus on community, making sure that you're connecting people, making sure that they are feeling the support, making sure that they're having the resources that they need. And if you fail to show them community, people love the products, but they stay for the community. So showing them the community and the support is immensely important. Retention. Getting them engaged is awesome, but you need to keep them engaged. So having challenges, making sure your new people are engaging in your challenges, and just learning to get excited about their goals, even after the first 30 days. Continue to ask them about their goals. It'll show that your relationship, that they mean more to you than just the sale, and that you're actually really engaged in their health goals. And I focus on vision. So making sure that they have a good experience and they get connected to the community and their retention is high. They're buying into not only your vision, but the vision of Isagenix. So I always say the first 30 days are super important to focus on those 4 things: experience, community, retention, and vision. Any other questions? Barbie is a master of communicating. Oh, you're so cute, Allison. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. And again, that was just my way of doing the first 30 days. I'm sure everybody else has their own tips and tricks and number of calls and everything, but That's the way I do it. So hopefully that was helpful. Oh, y'all are so cute. Okay, that's all I got for you guys.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.